What's up, witches? Not feeling camera ready today, but it is the beginning of August. My birthday is in a few days. Happy birthday to me. And so I was just really in the mood to sit down and do a monthly tarot reading for August, and I figured I would film it for you guys. Probably pull from a couple different decks. I'm gonna use my Sailor Moon Moon Crystal Tarot deck because I feel like I haven't used this one nearly enough since I bought it for how much I love both Sailor Moon and the deck itself. Trying to reach my tiny little T-Rex arms around the camera stand because I got this nice soft new rug in my filming room slash craft room slash witchy room, and I just felt like sitting on the floor on my nice soft rug and doing an August tarot reading before I go to bed. Ooh, hey, heyo. Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. So that looks pretty cool. Yeah, here's Loki for his customary appearance for this video. What you gotta say about that, Loki boy? What you think? Well, I'm gonna take that as a Loki sign of approval. Let me just move those down out of your way there, sir. This rug is really soft. I don't blame him for wanting to lay on it. Yes, hello, cute boy. And there's my Yggdrasil deck. We'll go ahead and pull from that one as well, too, because I don't know if it's because we're like past the turning point, like height of midsummer, but I've been really feeling the Odin energy coming in strong lately. Yeah, feeling the creativity, feeling the flow. Anyway, let's get into these cards. Bonus Loki backdrop. Wheel of Fortune. This is a major arcana card, which, as you can see, just kind of, represents the cycle of the year, things coming full circle. Things, life may have its ups and downs, but what goes down must come back up. So if you've been in a downward slump lately, things will be coming back up for you. This is what happens when you're down on the floor, because that's kitty territory. So the Wheel of Fortune just represents, the cycles of life, the cycle of the year, the wheel of the year, the wheel of time, once again, to throw in one of my favorite references. Yeah, things coming full circle, coming to fruition, and life might be a bit of a game of chance sometimes, but even though it does have its ups and downs, even when I'm really in the thick of it and feeling the downward slumps, I just try to focus on this bigger picture and realize that circumstances will change eventually, and hopefully pulling this card in this reading is a sign of good things and good fortune to come. If we look at... Really, Loki? Come on. I know God Loki is feeling particularly antsy today, but... So we have the 8 of Pentacles here. See this woman sitting on a bench, Pentacles are tied to earth and material goods, material gains, kind of the mundane realities of existence, job, career, things like that, home life, just in terms of like comfort and your surroundings. And you can see that there are many pentacles kind of hanging on the wall next to her, some lying on the bench before her, and she's looking down at the one next to her at her feet. But overall, it strikes me as a very fulfilling image, and once again, one of things kind of coming to fruition and coming to fulfillment, which I think makes sense, because if each suit is kind of a self-contained cycle in and of itself, each card, numbered from the ace to 10, then 8 would kind of fall in the latter half of the cycle, where, whatever journey was encompassed at the beginning of the pentacle cards is coming to bear, coming to the end, coming to fruition, as I said before, seems to be an apt term for these cards. Can always go back and look at the guidebook too if we want to get some more in depth with that, but I think it just kind of ties into things coming full circle, coming to an end, and the Four of Wands symbolizing that it's going to be a really good end, and not even an end of a cycle, but with things being cyclical, also the beginning of a new one. And I'm doing stuff right. But as you can see, it's a couple. They're standing together in front of like the home and the hearth, and the 4 rods are standing around them, almost like maypoles, looks like to me, especially with the greenery hanging above them. So, and the wands are kind of the suit of fire, passion, creativity. And so with things, there's kind of coming to like a full circle and the beginning of something new, something good. It could be with like home and family life, or just the beginning of a new relationship, partnership, project, passion project, creative project. But the wands usually symbolize more like fiery elements and fiery emotions and all those things contained therein. So just explore your passions during this time and know that it's kind of the beginning of something good and like good things heading your way. Let's pull a couple more cups, which I believe is the Queen, the 8 of Cups. Ooh, okay. And the Death card. So the Queen of Cups is represented by Sailor Mercury there, who is a sailor scout with watery elemental-based powers, because the cups are the element of water, which represents the realm of emotions, because, much like water, they can be very still and calm, or rage like the seas. I know I myself, being a Cancer moon, am a very watery, emotional person a lot of times. Very easily ruled by my emotions, and I feel them very deeply. The Queen of Cups is someone who, while she's very in tune with her emotions, and she might feel things very intensely, but she's not ruled by them. She's in charge of them. She's on her throne. She's the master of this domain now. So it can represent a specific person who may have come into your life recently, who can represent all of those qualities. Someone very emotional, creative, could just symbolize new love, new relationships. Someone very intuitive, in touch with their emotions, or in touch with the emotions of others, very caring. Almost, yeah, like a mothering type, but, not smothering. Because, like I said, she's also very self-aware and not ruled by her emotions at the same time. Yeah, feels deeply. And the Eight of Cups next to her almost kind of forms a little scene there. She's sitting on the throne. She's master of this domain. Meanwhile, this guy at the Eight of Cups he has all of these cups before him, but he's turning his back on them and having to walk away, which sometimes we have to do. And I think that's leading into this Death card here, which it doesn't always symbolize out and out death. It's more that symbol of a radical change, and almost like these two cards, like I said, coming full circle in terms of just everything is cyclical, life is cyclical. It says right in the Havamal that cattle die, kinsmen die, you yourself will die, but the one thing that never dies is the reputation of a good man. So building up what you can, treasuring what you have, and just understanding that all good things will come to an end at some point, but it's not always necessarily a bad thing. The Death card more just represents the end of one cycle so that we can begin the next stage, the beginning of the new, which, if this is, any indication, it's leading to some really good things on the horizon for us this month. Let's see, the Four of Swords. Oh, hi. Okay, Merlin's come to join the party. The Nine of Cups. And Justice. Interesting. Okay. So we have cycles, new projects, new relationships starting, kind of taking stock of what we have. So maybe you did start something new blossomed, you met someone who began a new reflective period within you, or and you might have had some experiences recently that, while really good and nurturing and fulfilling, you are having to really take stock of where you are right now, and in some cases walk away, even if it is a really good thing. It's just a matter of knowing when the time is right, what we need and don't need in our lives right now. What is, sometimes things may come along and we really want them. We become very attached to different concepts or ideas, jobs, people, but things come and go, and they might come and go out of your life. And the thing that that keeps popping up in my feeds all the time lately is just recognizing that maybe those things weren't meant for you, but something else better is. Especially with the Death card, things might be coming to a close, end of a cycle, beginning of another one. And then the Four of Swords kind of represents the element of air and intellect, and with this man lying in repose, surrounded by the swords, it kind of represents taking that time to step away. Maybe retreat into yourself, be by yourself for a bit, lay in wait. He's kind of just lying in state here, like at a wake. So maybe having to retreat inward, retreat into yourself, collect your thoughts, have that period of stillness and reflection. Because this Nine of Cups here, like I said, the cups are tied to water and emotions. But this woman is almost more displaying them behind her, lined up like trophies. She herself is sitting before them, legs crossed, kind of looking good, looking with an attitude. But these, it symbolizes almost an aloofness or being out of touch with she has all of these cups, but she's not holding them, she's not looking at them. She just has, she's collected all of them behind her, and they're just sitting there on the wall like literal trophies. Let me look that up, because I'm not sure, and it's stumping me a bit. Yeah, it says, it is nice to self-indulge and bask in the rewards of your hard work. So she's kind of sitting there basking in her collected efforts there. But be wary not to get overconfident. Don't lose sight of what you came there for and put in all that hard work in for the first place. Don't just rest on your laurels and get out of touch with why you're doing what you're doing and why you made the decisions that you did. Don't get too out of touch with your emotions at the same time. Because what justice really is, if you'll see here, they're holding the sword in one hand, but the scales in the other, which to me kind of symbolizes having to balance the two. Because these both kind of represent being aloof and keeping to yourself, and maybe stepping back from things and taking time to reflect and decide what you want. But it means having to examine these things behind you. You can't just ignore them. You can't lay in here and be isolated forever. Justice to me is really just about balance and truth, finding the truth, finding your truth. So I guess that's just kind of what this whole month is going to be about, finding the balance. One cycle might be coming to an end, especially as we are past the height of midsummer. We're going from one cycle into the next. Gonna be getting out of those sunshiny summertime Vayner vibes, and I'm already feeling Odin's energy coming through more personally. So it is, in a way, the end of one cycle and the beginning of another, which kind of leads me into the next deck that I wanted to pull from. Yggdrasil deck, which kind of surprises me because I've had this for months now, and this is maybe the second time that I've pulled it out. But like I said, I'm feeling the Odin energy, feeling the Loki energy today, that's for sure. Not just my cat being all up in this video. I mean, Loki really messing with me today. Here's what's currently happening over here. Yeah. And on top of that, this morning I was sitting downstairs in front of my computer and a big old spider tried to drop down on his little thread right in front of my face. So that was fun. I decided to be merciful that time and take it outside, even though it is warm enough here that it could very well have been a brown recluse, which terrifies me. Quick. And then it's bedtime. Temperance. Okay, yeah, here we go. There's Odin. And a dog. Yeah. I think this is actually really very fitting, rather, for kind of what I was saying with these last three cards. Because we have Temperance, which also means balance. Not only is it a major arcana card in the Rider-Waite deck in and of itself, but here we have Odin. Ironically enough, when I said that I'd been feeling his energy around a lot more lately, I just wrote a 3-part story off the top of my head about Odin at the Well of Mimir, and I think that's what's actually being kind of shown in this card here. Is we have Odin, and that's Mimir's head, because eventually Mimir has his head cut off by the Vanir and shipped back to Odin kind of as a threat / fuck you. And Mimir is so knowledgeable, he's literally the well of all knowledge, that Odin somehow manages to preserve his head so that it can still talk and give him advice, and he can still consult it, which is weird. I don't know how one does such a thing, but magic. So yeah, very synchronicitous, providential, I don't know what you want to call it, but definitely interesting that we see not only a card representing kind of patience, balance, temperance, taking a step back to pause before you make any crucial decisions, consulting that well of knowledge, consulting other people if you need to, which kind of, represents finding the balance between intellect and emotion, And then we have Heimdall here next to him, guardian of the Bifrost, which I think is why it lists one of the keywords as gateway, opportunity, but also warning, which I think is also symbolized by these cards, especially with that what I read about the Nine of Cups symbolizing like not resting on your laurels, like looking back over your achievements. The Wheel of Fortune and the new cycles might represent new opportunities coming your way, but yeah, kind of taking a minute to compose yourself, compose your thoughts, analyze your thoughts versus your emotions, find the balance between, what you want versus what you might need to let go of and walk away from, using that temperance and that judgment to balance everything out, find the truth, find your truth, as I said, kind of all contained within this card of, gateway opportunity, but also, like, don't be hasty, look before you leap. Really feeling the druid pull and the Celtic interest in, Celtic lore and Celtic deities and druidry as always, and I just talked about this deck in one of my last review, like, show and tell videos. So, the stag, the owl, and the ferryman. That's kind of interesting. I feel like this is, like, speaking to me personally right now because I've been doing a lot of meditating on what my, like, Vilgia or, like, totem animal would be, and I've been seeing a lot of, like, getting a lot of strong hints within the last few weeks in particular that it is an owl. And the stag also, I think, is very representative of right now being Lughnasadh, the Feast of Lugh, Feast of the First Fruits, which is also, I think Lugh is very also associated with solar and like Freya energy and embodies many of these same traits as Freya does. So I think that's very fitting because I associate stags and stag imagery with Freya a lot in particular. And yeah, I really wanted to do this reading right now at the beginning of the month, with yesterday kind of marking the beginning of that period of Lughnasadh, which is also like celebrating, the transition from one cycle into the next, and kind of, the transition from summer into fall. We're starting to get, the first of the harvest. So I think I'm just gonna wrap this up here. I know it was a little quick and maybe all over the place, but definitely some very interesting cards here. It looks like there's definitely going to be some interesting opportunities coming your way, some important decisions to be made, but it looks like it's all going to be really good things. So I'm super excited. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good month and a good end of your summer. Catch you in the next one. Stay classy.